I'm beginning to think at this point you guys are determined to cause me to snap. Yes, this is EpicLuca with your Yokoi Kids Game of the Month game review for October 2019, and we are playing golf. Not Mario Golf, not Tiger Woods PGA Tour 12, 13, or 14, or even Wii Sports Golf, just plain, old, ordinary, run-of-the-mill golf. Now, this isn't the first golf game to be released on a Nintendo console, much less with the generic game title of Golf. And like with the NES counterpart, there really isn't much to this game, just a standard 18-hole course of golf. That is right, all 18 holes, which would make you think this would be a long game, or at the very least you'd be stuck in it for the long haul depending on how well you play. And considering this was my very first time playing the game, I got through a full round of golf in about 35 minutes, which for someone as inexperienced to golf games as I am, that actually isn't that bad. Now for the game itself, it's just golf. No bells and whistles really, just plain ordinary golf. It shows you the par for each hole at the start, and your goal is to hit the ball into the hole in the allotted number of strokes, possibly less or maybe even a hole-in-one, though there is no consequence for going over other than you'll have a worse score at the end of the game. But again, it's of no real consequence as you are just playing by yourself, so really all this serves to do is for you to practice and possibly do better the next time you play. And you have your choice of different clubs you can use for each swing, though not being an avid golfer myself, I didn't really know the difference between them other than using a putter on the green near the hole, but other than that I could have used any club for the rest of the game and I wouldn't have known the difference. And to swing the club is pretty simple as well, just press the button once to start the arrow moving down the meter, then press it a second time to have it come back down, and press the button one more time to execute your swing, with when you press the button each time determining the power of your swing. So I think that is pretty much it. Nothing else to talk about with this game, nothing out of the ordinary, didn't drive me crazy in the slide. Oh, I forgot to talk about the course hazards, you limey bastard. These were probably the worst part of the game and caused the voice in me head to come back. Now, while there aren't very many of them, they're all very frustrating in their own unique way. First, there were the accursed sand traps, and anytime I hit me ball into them, it drove me mad as all. Getting the ball out wasn't the most difficult thing, but it certainly was frustrating to say the least. You had to figure out the right club for the job, otherwise your ball was only going to go a few feet and would have taken you all day to get it out, though once you did figure out the right club, then it wasn't that bad. Now were the accursed trees. Didn't look like they were there for much more than decoration, but if you managed to hit your ball in just the right way, then you would end up hitting it right into one of the limey bastards, and if there's a string of them, then there's a good chance you may end up hitting the ball right smack into all of them, so it makes for a really bad time. Last, and certainly my least favorite of the hazards, were the fucking water hazards from the devil himself. You end up hitting your ball right down to Davy Jones' locker. Water hazards were everywhere, with a good chance you would end up in the drink. And there was at one point during the game where my ball was on the edge of one and it took me several swings to get it across, as every time I hit it, it didn't go far enough and was right back in the drink. Aye, all of these hazards be of the beast himself and they can go right back to the depths of... So, anyway, when it comes to music and sound, there actually is a little bit going on. There are actual tracks for the title, in between the holes, and right before you swing, which mutes when you do hit the ball. And there are sound effects when you attempt your swing, when you swing at the ball, when the ball is in the air, and when it hits the ground, with that one changing based on how good your shot was and where the ball ended up landing. Overall, it's not a bad game, pretty playable for an early sports title on the Game Boy, i.e. much more playable than that accursed Ken Griffey Jr. Presents Major League Baseball y'all had me playing last month, though really doesn't offer much other than a standard 18-hole game of golf, with the courses being the same each time. So the only reason to want to play again would be to see if you could beat your score from the previous attempt, but other than that, really not much in the way of replayability, but still not the worst thing you've all had me play.